Welcome back, everybody. I'm Travis with Linux Academy. In this lesson, we'll start building on top of our Docker Compose knowledge by working with some of the commands. Now, I have a listing of all the commands in the description of this video, but the commands over to the right are the ones we're going to be focusing on. We're going to go and kick things off by going and setting up our environment, and the first thing we're going to do is create a new directory called compose/commands. Next, we're going to go and cd into the commands directory. And now we're going to go and create a Docker Compose file. Execute vi docker-compose.yml. The contents of the Docker Compose file can be found in the description of this video. I'm not going to be going into any details yet. I have this all planned out for another video. Just know that we're going to be creating two services, a web service that is Nginx, as well as a Redis database. Go ahead and save and quit. Now, before we go and create our services, I want to get a listing of all my containers because I'm going to go and kill these off. Right now, the only container I'm not going to kill off is Watchtower, but I'm going to get rid of the rest. That includes Portainer. We'll be revisiting that later on, so we don't need it anymore anyway. Now we can go and start our services by executing Docker Compose up, and we're using the D flag to make sure that all the containers run in the background. When going and executing this command, we need to make sure that we're in the same directory as the Docker Compose file. If not, we need to use the F flag to go and supply a path to it. Now that our services have deployed out, we can execute a Docker Compose PS to get a listing of these services. As you can see, we have two containers that are up and running. We have our Redis container as well as our Nginx container. We have a listing of the commands that were executed when the container started, as well as the status. Both of them are up, as well as the published ports. Another thing I need to point out is that anytime we run these commands, we need to make sure we're in the same directory as the Docker Compose file. So let me just quickly demonstrate that. If I try and run Docker Compose PS, you'll see that it's not going to run. There's an error because it can't find the compose file. So if I want to run any compose commands outside of the directory where the file is at, I have to specify the F flag first with a path to the file followed by the command. You can't use the F flag after the command, it will just confuse compose. And as you can see, this time around, I do get results back. Now cd back into the commands directory. Now we're going to go and stop our service. And to do this, execute a Docker Compose stop. Now we can go and list our services again. And you'll see that both are in the state of exit 0, which means that they stop without any kind of error. Now I can also execute Docker Compose start to go and start the services back up again. And now both of my services are back up and running. Just like with containers, we can go and restart them by executing Docker Compose restart. And once I'm done with my service, I can destroy it by executing Docker Compose down. And if I go and list my services again, you can see that we don't have anything present. When it comes to working with Docker Compose, these are the day-to-day commands you'll be working with. If you want to get a listing of all the commands, just execute Docker Compose-H, which will give you all the commands along with some useful flags. And there are a lot of commands that directly map over to what we see in the regular Docker commands. We can go build and rebuild images within our service. We can stop them, we can start them, we can pause them, we can look at container logs. So none of this should be really foreign to you. So this should give you a good idea of how we can go and manage our containers using Docker Compose. Coming up in the next lesson, we're going to be digging deeper into Docker Compose by creating a Docker Compose file that will go and build a microservice. Go ahead and mark this lesson complete.